This is Rachel Dexter from Healthy English. Now, I love a good cup of tea. In fact, I can't really start my day without one. But us British people can really confuse others with how we use the word tea. And I want to help you with some of this confusion. I'm going to tell you two amusing stories from my experiences living in Denmark as a British person. So I was out one time with my kids and a family from Uzbekistan. Our kids had been swimming together, and the mum said to me, "Do you want to come back to ours for tea?" And I was very surprised because it was very last minute. There were three of us. Would she have enough food? And I was like, "Are you sure? Do you have enough?" And she said, "Yeah, of course. Come back and have tea with us." So we all went back to their house, and of course she went and made a pot of tea and brought it out. And my kids were sat on the sofa next to me, whispering to me, "Mummy, where's the food?" Because in the UK, many use the word tea to mean an evening meal as well as the drink tea. Another funny story. I organised a play date with a 6-year-old American boy at our house, and I said to his mum, who was a close friend of mine, "Do you want me to give him tea?" And she looked at me rather confused and said, okay. Now, I didn't even think, but she obviously thought that I was going to pour this 6-year-old a hot cup of tea, when actually I just meant give him an evening meal. She told me later she was rather relieved when he got home and explained he'd eaten pizza. Now, in the UK, a lot of people do use the word tea interchangeably with an evening meal. So dinner and tea can mean exactly the same thing. So if somebody says to you, "Do you want to come to ours for tea?" they most likely mean an evening meal. So don't go and have a meal before you go and then realise you're going to have to eat a second meal. The difference is that if somebody is specifically inviting you round for a drink of tea, they will usually say, "Do you want to come round for a cup of tea?" Or "Do you want to come round for a cuppa?" Or "I'll put a pot of tea on." So they'll specify that they mean a drink of tea. But if they say, "Do you want to come round for tea?" they almost always will mean an evening meal. I hope that's made things a little bit clearer for you. Just to add to the confusion, the word dinner, which is a term also used for an evening meal, can also be used to describe the midday meal, which is otherwise known as lunch. So you'll often hear people talking about Sunday dinner, which usually means a hot roast dinner at midday. Or you might hear school dinners, which refers to the hot school meals that children can get at school. So dinner is another word that can be confusing because people will use it for their evening meal, what you're going to have for dinner tonight, or they can use it for the midday meal, but only if it's a hot meal. Hopefully, you will know now what to expect when you are invited to somebody's for dinner or for tea. If you have any of your own funny stories, I'd love to hear them. Put them in the comments below. This is Rachel Dexter from Healthy English, passionate about encouraging, equipping, and empowering doctors, nurses, and other health professionals thrive in their UK careers.